Hi Leo, I want to welcome you to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol. And Leo, this is going to be a general reading for mid-October 2024. And in today's reading, we're going to be doing a check-in. And so we're going to be starting off with looking at what pattern is coming up right now. It's showing up in your life and it's coming up for you to heal. And so in order to, try to figure out what's going on with this pattern and what's impacting it and what's driving it and where it's coming from, we're going to be looking in your shadow. And so we're going to be doing some shadow work in the second part of the reading. And in this part of the reading, we're going to take a deep dive and try to figure out, what is it in childhood or adolescence that happened that is impacting this. So if you are unfamiliar with the term shadow or shadow work, I left you a really good video in my description box below. And it's called My Powerful 4-Step Guide to Shadow Work. And it's taken from my other channel called Carol Cares. And that's a channel where I have a lot of other healing videos to help you on your healing journey. And this particular video is going to be all about facing your own shadow. And it's one that I put together for you. And it's sort of based on, well, it is based on what I've been doing for the last 7.5 years, which is my own intensive healing journey that I've been on to heal my own complex trauma. And so, yeah, and then finally in the third part of this reading, I'm going to ask the tarot for some guidance as to how you can begin to heal what's coming up here in your shadow that's impacting this pattern that's coming up. Because I can only, the tarot can only give you, this is a healing journey, so it's not going to give you a cure, but it is going to set you off on the right path. And I'm also going to give you a couple playlists as well, just from Carol Cares, just to help you with, getting you on to the right track and how you can start to begin to heal this pattern that, keeps showing up and you can't figure out why or what's going on. So, right, so let's begin. I'm going to start off by using the Curious Travels Tarot deck. And I'll pull some cards from that, and then I'm going to clarify with the Tarot Grand Luxe. Yeah, so these have been pre-shuffled before I came on. I do want to also say to you that I'm also doing personal readings. If you're interested, the link is in my description box and also in my comment section. So it'll take you to my website, carolcares.com, and on that website, there will be a Yellow Cardinal Tarot page that you'll go to, and there'll be about 6 or 7 readings that you can look at and see if you're interested in me doing a personal reading for you. Especially if this resonates with you, I think it would benefit you to do a personal reading. All right, so let's begin by asking for what pattern in Leo's life is showing up for healing right now. So if you can give me one card for that. Tarot, just one card. You have the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. And I'm going to put it upside down so you can see it. What aspect from your shadow is driving this pattern right here? Well, you have the Queen of Cups in reverse. And what advice does the tarot have for you to begin to heal this pattern? Advice from the tarot. The 5 of Cups in reverse. Okay, so let's clarify that with using our Tarot Grand Luxe. And we'll ask for about, can I have 2-3 cards to explain, clarify this 8 of Pentacles here that's coming up. 1 on the floor. Okay, I get that. And 2 more, please, on the table would be great. There's 1. I'll give it to you on the table, and I'll even turn it upright for you. Look at that, tarot. It's amazing how accommodating it is. After I have to go and get this other one. Okay. Good thing I got wheels on my chair. 8 of Pentacles in reverse, you have the 2 Wands in reverse as a clarifier, as well as the Page of Coins, which is the Page of Pentacles, and you have the 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups, interestingly enough, I want you to say that. I want you to notice that you have the 5 of Cups here ending your first line, which is the pattern you're sitting with. And then the universe takes it over here and it's in reverse. So it's starting off with your advice here. So that's interesting. That's sort of, I think, a bit of a focus here on what's going on. It gives me an understanding, I think, a bit already of where you're sitting. Now let's clarify the Queen of Cups here in reverse. 2 to 3 cards. Okay, so I got these 2. This one came out first. Queen of Wands, another Queen here, right beside each other. So you have the Queen of Cups and Queen of Wands in reverse, and the Sun card comes in reverse. And I'm going to ask for one more card here. And the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Wow. Okay. 5 of Cups. Those cards wanted to come together. So you had the Chariot card in reverse. Major Arcana card here. You have the Knight of Coins, Knight of Pentacles, and you had the 8 of Wands in reverse. All right, Leo, let's start off with a pattern. Are you sitting with right now? 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Well, in an upright position, the 8 of Pentacles talks about this individual who's doing a job, putting a lot of commitment into something, spending a lot of time, you know, on this. And in an upright position, it's a job that they are really feeling fulfilled with. They're very passionate about, almost like, could be, you know, something to do with your life purpose. But this is in reverse here. So maybe it's a job that you thought was your life purpose. You thought, and maybe you've been committing a lot of time to it. You thought this is what you were meant to do. But you're starting to feel unfulfilled. You're not passionate anymore about it, you know, and so I think that causes, when that happens, that can be disturbing, and you can sit with those feelings of, you know, you can sit with them or push them down or and continue the job and continue what you're doing, but you're definitely in a position right now where you're just going, I'm just kind of, it's just not doing it for me anymore. I'm not passionate about it anymore. It's tough to be in that position, right? Especially if it's a job that you've relied on all your life for, you know, your financial means, and it's brought, maybe if it's brought in some good money for you, and I mean, even if you're sitting there, if it's what supports you, and if it's, or maybe a family, but it's just something where it's like, this job is just not fulfilling anymore. And it's almost like that can suck a lot of your energy, right? Because when you try to ignore that, it really takes a lot of your energy. And here's the 2 of Wands here. And the 2 of Wands in an upright position, because this was reversed. But in an upright position, the 2 of Wands talks about this nudge. It's like this inner knowing. It's like this intuitive call almost. And look at the light that's being shone down here, right? It's like, pay attention to this light here. It's shining something. There's something coming up here. So you're feeling this nudge, but you're ignoring it. So you're feeling this, and it's a nudge maybe to go into a different direction, because it makes sense here. Because if you're not happy or in the position, the job, or whatever you're committing your time to, and there's here this nudge to go into a different direction, but it's like, I gotta shove it all down, right? You're pushing it down. You're just not feeling like you can do it. not feeling like you can listen to the call, right? It's almost like this intuitive knowing and call that's coming up. And I would imagine, because this is a pattern, this is not the first time this has happened. And if it is a true intuitive call, it'll come up as a whisper, and you'll push it back down. And it'll come up as a whisper. It's not a desperate call. It's not something that's loud. I got to do this right away. It's something that's been gnawing at you. You know, it's just been in your gut, like just coming up a little bit and then going away. And that's intuitive. And so then in the middle of all of this, there's this page of Pentacles here in reverse, and the pages in my deck are inner children. We have more than one inner child. I can tell you that, having been on my own significant healing journey from my own trauma and doing my own shadow work, that I have more than one inner child. I know mainstream psychology likes to say we just have one, but we have more, because there's different children that hold different emotions. And this particular page, this particular inner child, is the Page of Pentacles. This is the page that was very much in touch with, very much in their body, because children are very much in their body. They're very intuitive when they're young. And that kind of gets all shut down. And this is a page of yours, an inner child that really got shut down. And we're going to find out about that in your shadow here. And because this particular page here, all our pages when they come up, they need healing. Here's your inner child that knew, that was very much in their body, that had, you know, very much self-worth, and was very intuitive and knew sort of what they wanted to do. But that was very much shut down. And so when your inner child of Pentacles gets shut down, they are not in their body. So as a child, when you're very intuitive, well, we're all intuitive as children. We all have that feminine aspect to it, that intuition. It doesn't matter what gender you are, you have that feminine quality, the intuition. And you're in your body. And so something happened to you when you were younger where you got shut down. And when an inner child gets shut down, they get blocked, and they're not allowed to feel. They're not allowed to feel. And so they're coming up for you. There's something here that's coming up for you to feel. And they hold big emotions for us that they couldn't feel when they were younger, when they got shut down. And here's the card here, explains what's going on with you. And that's, we talked about the Five of Cups. It's going to come up again for your healing. It's the Five of Cups here. And the cup suits all about our emotions and feeling our emotions. And so I think when you were shut down, when something happened when you were younger, well, there's a page here that's coming up here. I think very much so that you got shut down. And I'm going to say that I'm wondering if there's some unworthiness here that's coming up here, because you're very much, the Five of Cups speaks about this, focusing on these three cups that you have lost. It's a real card of loss, this card. And when you feel loss, you know, think of a child that feels very lost and lonely and alone. And so this is a card where you're focusing on your loneliness. And I'm wondering if you're sitting here feeling unworthy, feeling hopeless. And maybe you're feeling very, very hopeless here because you're stuck. You're stuck in this job situation that you are feeling like you need to get out, because you're not feeling passionate about it, but you're feeling stuck in it. And so, and then there's this page that's coming up here, and you're feeling very hopeless. And so I'm going to say that there's something, a younger part of you that felt very hopeless. So I want to know where this hopelessness is coming from, where this stuckness is coming from, where you're feeling trapped. So it's triggering, you're being triggered here. Whatever's happening in your life right now, it is triggering something from your childhood that needs to heal. I know that you could sit here and argue with me and say, well, right now I am in a job, or I'm in a situation right now where I feel stuck in this position. That's why I feel hopeless. And yes, but you're an adult. You're an adult and you can get out of this. And so a lot of our pain that we feel right now when we feel stuck is coming from the situation that this younger child right here felt when they were younger, when they were in a position that they could not get out of because they were a child. You're an adult now. You can get out of it. But you're feeling like you can't because this is triggering what's coming up in your shadow. And let's look at what's coming up in your shadow that you could not control and you couldn't get out of. When you were younger, we have the Queen of Cups coming up, and Queen of Cups is, the Queen is, you have two queens right in a row. So let's look at both of these queens because they're both important. Because this queen, well, first of all, who's the queen? The queen is the feminine aspect of ourselves. She is the queen. We all have a feminine aspect and we all have a masculine aspect. It has nothing to do with gender. The queen in ourself is very much the side of us that has everything to do with our emotions, that has everything to do with our intuition. And we talked about intuition here a bit, this intuitive pull that you're feeling with your wands. And this just so happens to be sitting right underneath the Two of Wands. I said it was that, I'm just noticing it now. It said it was that intuitive call that you're feeling to do something else. Well, here's the feminine in wands right underneath, and that is the feminine is all about the feminine aspect to ourselves, the wands of taking our life into a new direction, into a different direction. That's what the feminine part of us is. The feminine of the cups is all about feeling our emotions and really guiding our life with our emotions. But both of these are repressed, sitting in your shadow. So that side of you when you were younger, that side of feeling emotions and knowing sort of what direction, or taking your life in a direction that you were meant to go into, is our feminine side. Those are both blocked when you were younger. So I'm seeing here that there's something here that happened where, and if I look at the last card, which is the Three of Pentacles, and that is definitely a card of, co-creation or working with somebody and supporting. And so I'm seeing here that you were not in a supportive environment. You were not in a supportive environment because I can see here that you also have the Sun card that's in reverse. Sun card talks about pure joy as a child. Just being a child was in reverse here. And so this whole thing about being a child and being supportive and being allowed to express your emotions, or being allowed to express, what you wanted to do and what direction you wanted to go into. Maybe you knew as an adolescent. Both of those were shut down. And so that's why this page here, this Page of Pentacles here is here, because this is the page, this inner child is the one that holds your sense of self-worth. If you, as a child, were allowed to, if you felt supported, if you were allowed to feel your emotions, if you were allowed to express, what you wanted to do, and where, because you knew as a child what you wanted to do, but that was shut down. And here it is coming up for you as an adult. Again, it's like you're not feeling this. You're not feeling this job that you're in or the situation that you've committed so much time to. But it's bringing back all that when you were younger. It's triggering that time when you were younger, when that was shut down in you and you weren't allowed to feel. You didn't feel safe. You weren't allowed to decide what you wanted to do. That was just... And so now as an adult, when you're feeling this coming on, it's like this is all bringing it all back from childhood, right? And so here's where this unworthiness is coming in, because if you get shut down when you're a child, you feel like you don't matter. And this is you feeling like you don't matter. And this is you feeling like you don't have the self-worth enough to take your life into this new direction because you're feeling like you need to. And here's that little inner child of you that needs to heal. There's a lot of grieving here that needs to take place. And a lot of grieving here that needs to take place. So, and I'm wondering here with these queens, when those queens are in reversed and they're repressed in your shadow, that can also bring in, it brings out either two ways you can go with this. You can feel very hopeless and depressed is what I'm seeing here, but you could also be feeling some anger, some buried anger here. And I'm the one that I tend to go towards the hopelessness because I have a hard time getting to my anger because I wasn't allowed to be angry when I was younger. And so whatever your situation was, and that's why you're probably sitting in this hopelessness right now, this depression over this situation. But you have to heal this inner child that was shut down when they were younger. And once you get to that healing, it maybe you may have to get to your anger first, because anger is, and maybe I'm talking too soon here, but anger is like a defensive emotion that will go to it. It'll cover up that grief that we need to get to. So get to our anger first. And if you're not one that can get to their anger, and I write from my anger now, I'm learning how to do that, where I just rage on a page at people that, would have shut me down as a child, not allowing me to feel and not allowing me to do what I wanted to do. And get angry at them because right now you're stuck in this job and you don't want to do it anymore and you can't get out. Rage about that, because that's getting your anger out, right? Start with that. And so let's look at, that's my, I'm going to give you some journaling videos right away, playlist on how to journal, and it'll teach you how to journal from your anger. Get real pissed off. Even in journal about how hopeless you feel. You're sitting here with this hopelessness. So what does the tarot have for you? Well, here's this 5 of Cups that you need to deal with. We talked about that, right? That's huge. This, because you, as a Page of Pentacles, you took that on, that unworthiness, because the Pentacle is about your body and feeling your worthiness. And this is in reverse here. And so it's blocked. There's a resistance to you to feeling it. It's not healed. And so the universe wants you to take a look at, your unworthiness. And that is often deals with the shame, the emotion of shame, and not feeling like you matter. And so I might give you a playlist on shame as well. Now behind this 5 of Cups here, this unworthiness that you need to look at and heal, you have this Chariot card in reverse. The Chariot card in an upright position speaks about, people other tarot readers like to say it's movement, movement. Yeah, sure, there's movement for sure. This particular chariot in an upright position, this charioteer, has been holding on to these reins for dear life, hoping that one of these horses don't go in anyone, they're wild. They're wild. They're not, he thinks he's controlling them, right? Well, there's this bug that came on the table. I was scared for a minute. He thinks that he's controlling them with his reins, right? And he's controlling them with his willpower, because there's no control with these reins. They're not in control here. And so I think for a long time now, you have been, Leo, you have been trying to control this situation, this unworthiness that keeps coming up here about your job situation in particular, and not feeling like you can do anything else or do anything about this or get out of this particular situation. And you've been just holding on to it with your willpower and trying to make it all go away and keep up and stay up in your head and trying to shove it down. Sometimes we can get ourselves into different ways to numb it all out. It's in reverse here. This is not a movement. This is not a physical movement. This willpower, this control, this fake control that you think you have, it's not working for you anymore. It's like you're hitting the wall. You're hitting the wall. And as it continues to come up again and come up again and come up again, you're going to hit the same wall every single time until you heal that little page. Because this card, this Chariot, it's not an invitation for movement, physical movement. It's an invitation to go inwards. It's an invitation to finally go inwards, to feel the pain of unworthiness that this little child felt when they were younger, when they were shut down. And so you have the Knight of Coins coming up. And the Knight of Coins is, right behind it is the Knight of Pentacles. And so you have, in your, right here as advice, you have a part of you. My knights are what I call my freedom fighters. You have a freedom fighter. You have this part of you, and we all have it, that is fighting on behalf of you, who has been fighting all their life to get you to get free, to find out what your truth is. And they have the pentacle. Here's the body right here. Here's the body. It's the pentacle of your body. It's the pentacle of your self-worth. And they're wanting you to get back to who you really are, finding the truth out where your self-worth, this depression, this hopelessness that you're sitting in, where does that come from? And it wants you to get there. And it's been fighting all your life for you to get there. And it's feeling anger. It's feeling hopelessness again. And that's where that's coming from. And then finally your Eight of Wands is like exploding here. And it's in reverse. The Eight of Wands speaks about like a final goal here, a final direction, right? There's a final direction here that the universe is saying, you know what? You get in your body. You deal with this self-worth, this depression you're sitting in, this hopelessness, this anger. You deal with these things. And we're going to bring you trust. And you got to trust in the process here. But we're going to bring you to like this final goal here, this direction for you. This is what it is. It's going to explode. Right now it's in reverse, right? Because we're not heading there yet. But this is a process. But I really feel like you need to journal, find out how to journal from your hopelessness. And I think you have some self-worth, some shame going on here. And so, I mean, you're also, when I give you the videos on journaling, there's also journaling from your hopelessness, your depression, your anger, whatever you're feeling. And then I think I'm going to give you, because you're dealing with unworthiness here, I think I'm going to give you a playlist on shame. And that's going to help you with that emotion that's behind that as well. So Leo, I want you to have compassion for yourself for what you're dealing with right now. This is the toughest journey of your life. This healing journey, dealing with what's coming up for you. And these big emotions that your younger child couldn't feel. And now you have to feel them. They're huge. But it's the most important journey of your life. And you're on it. So I want you to have compassion for yourself, and I'll see you in November.